last chance at the moment. I've been doing a bit of Q&A in my own brain on what possibly could be going on here with the visual. The sound. The visual's fine. I put on this red shirt of luck. G'day, Dave. How's the sound going, mate? Be the litmus test. Be the canary in the mine. Let us know that it's A-OK. Please. Lie to me, team, if you have to. How are we looking? Rob. G'day, Rob. How you going? Still echo. Third time lucky, Kaz. Mr. Buckaroony, please tell me. No good? I won't be back, team. Maybe ever. If I can't sort this. It's not as bad. I don't know what is going on because there is no way of being able to check or monitor your own visuals, team. Someone's lying to me. Lauren's lying. See, I can't really hear in any way what you guys can hear. And at the moment, when I look down in, I'm already ruining this for first time people that come here because they're thinking, get your shit together, son. Right. Yeah, special stream, we push through much worse. Look, we have. G'day, ScoMo, how you going here? We've got some leadership here. Some good names. We've got Robo5. Guys, we'll make this a quick one. Okay, basically what this is about. Tonight is a special request because we've got a really, really sick member or two of our channel. And we have to be here for you when you're the ones that are hurting. That's for sure. And we never know when it's going to be, whether you're older, whether you're young, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's visible, whether it's invisible. You matter. And if you're going to be under the floorboards, taking the pain, waiting to get through the hard times, then it's not much for us to be here and distract you with a bit of human energy. Now, some of the questions we were asking before was, and I got sent a fantastic message today from Jay, who let us know that the Army is officially, maybe if we all drink, it won't be as bad. Okay, Kaz, just did my pathology today. Hopefully it comes back good, mate. And basically, the official letter is that the Army is shortening Kapooka to 63 days, and I'm going to read you the exact letter that came from Army. Bam. And that letter reads, with my broken eyes, Australian Army, 1st Recruit Training Battalion, which is Kapooka, right? Dear prospective Australian Army recruit and your families, the Australian Army prides itself on the high quality of training it provides to all its members to prepare them for the varying roles soldiers undertake as part of the Army team. To maintain high quality training, it is the Army's responsibility to review, adjust, and trial new training methods and approaches to ensure we are giving our people the best possible training available. Now, I asked for them, is this about dropping standards? If it is going to drop from what it is down to 63 days, what are you getting rid of? What is being taken out? What has been there as a cornerstone of the training of the Australian soldier, and why are you getting rid of it? You've all heard the saying before, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Is this about money or is it about capability? Because at the moment, I think we're failing the soldier in many ways. Not to mention, but this is not a bad thing for the soldier. They're not going to know any difference other than the fact they're not at Kapooka as long. But the first thing that should leave is the march out parade. That should be the very first thing that gets cut, because training over a spectacle that takes a week to train you, I would argue that the march out parade is the least important part, other than the validation and the cutting of the umbilical cord between a young adult and their family. So let's get back to this one. In 2022, Army has reviewed its recruit training courses. Officers have, you mean? Not the soldier. It's the home of the Australian soldier, not officer. And has developed a shorter module-based approach in initial training. To test the training design, Army will be conducting a trial of this new course. Trial, so they're actually saying they don't even know if it's going to work. To see training design, Army will be conducting a trial of the new course recruits entering on the 24th of January 2023 intake. Now, the scary thing with this is, you can contaminate a whole platoon if you get it wrong for the rest of their careers. It'll be fine, okay, but what else is being cut short? Because at the end of the day, what you can't do is, you hear this one reservists a lot when they say, oh, yeah, we do more in just less compact time. Well, that's not the case, because in a training course, you have to be given 8 hours sleep. All lessons have to be a formal lesson, which goes for 40 minutes with training objective outcomes and a confirmation period to allow people to know the standard in which you actually obtain within that lesson. So you can't cut it short to fit more in. That's fugazi. For you as a recruit, you'll be helping Army test this new training course. You will receive the same high quality of training, although a shorter format of 63 days. Attend the same march out parade, which shouldn't be in there because that shouldn't come before Army training. And you'll be an Australian Army soldier on completion of this course, ready to undertake initial employment training. Okay, so now you've got less time at Kapooka. If you turn up underdone, understanding when you get to the School of Infantry, you're going to have to deliver on the very first day a BFA or not go into your session. Should you have any concerns, please discuss these with the Defence Force recruiting staff. If you do that, you won't have a job anymore, so don't do that. I wish to tell you your journey to become an Australian soldier. I wish you well on your journey to become an Australian soldier. I look forward to serving alongside you. And that's from Andrew Deacon, CSM, Conspicuous Service Medal, Colonel Commanding Officer. Okay. So officers need to keep the fuck out of soldier training because they're not soldiers. A lot of time they get briefs, not lessons. Soldiers should be commenting on soldiers. RSMs, CSMs, they're the ones that should be doing that, which is the reason why officers don't sign off on qualifications per se when people go and get their competencies checked off. That's platoon sergeant's realm. Look, I don't mind them shorting it, but just be honest and tell us what you're cutting out and why. What isn't relative that used to be for everyone else? Will there be training shortfalls? If there is training shortfalls, that means they'll get picked up in the unit on the competency logbook, not picked, and that's fine, but they won't be picked up the initial employment training. So, okay, so maybe that's the answer. That'd be a good answer. Rocket Man, I know RAF are looking at shortening their courses from 10.6 weeks to 9 weeks. Their courses had an admin period that isn't really needed. We'll ask the soldier. I'm sure they needed it. The mental anguish of being on a course, sometimes you need that relief, just like when you're firing on the mound. You look with your eyes, you don't change your forest position, weapon must point naturally at the target, and, we go from there. Smokey, I'm so confused, guinea pig. It's okay. The Army's been doing it for God knows how long. It's fine. Okay, as long as we don't get to the stage that we drop the standards, which we know we're doing there as well, and that's the danger. And that brings us to a video we're about to watch together, and hopefully this will give you an indication of what's happening with all Western armies. UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, USA. All of them are suffering from the same thing. And that is, we've got a smaller and smaller pool of applicants that are voluntarily coming to the Army because the woke agenda by governments to hide our Army. For some unknown reason, you can't even buy toy soldiers anymore. How could you possibly want to be a soldier to escape the western suburbs of Adelaide, the land of the single mums, if you don't ever see a soldier? What if you come from Sydney? What if you come from Western Australia and the only person you ever see is someone wearing their uniform incorrectly? Yep, that's Air Force. Okay, how are you supposed to think, hey, that's what I want to come and do? So we're also seeing levels of 67% of adults are overweight now. So even less. We're seeing a lot less people going into sports, less people going into fire brigade, less people going into police. Right? So this is not just a military thing. This is a modern society thing. That's what it is. We've never seen higher levels of estrogen in men. We're in trouble, team, in some ways. But we need to be honest, not drop standards, because when people come for a challenge, they deserve a challenge. And when they get the challenge and they actually turn out to be a great candidate, they're glad they did it hard. It's like kids on school camp. Mine's on a school camp now. Push their boundaries, give them fear, give them controlled exposure to adversity, and when they triumph, they'll become a better person. The scab goes over, and the next time they go on camp, it's fun. Yep. Building our personalities and our style. So let's see how this goes. So the original course is like 12 weeks, and now it's come down to 63 days. If you do the maths, that's about 9 weeks. So you're looking at 2 or 3 weeks that they've cut off, but still maintaining the march out parade, which does make sense. Yeah, are they cutting short the field component? Are they cutting out the customs and traditions of being in the army? That'd be a bad one. Where are we? I'm just looking at the sound here again, team, because I can hear in the background a little bit here. And it kind of sucks ass. Okay. All right. Let us know how that goes, if that's any better whatsoever. Let's have a look at what I've got here, team. G'day, Nicole. G'day, Jay. I'll be in that enlistment with the shorter course. Yeah, it won't affect you. You won't know the difference because you haven't done the other course. It's fine. All right. So this is a reason why we're having so many problems. This is the way the leadership is looking, trying to meet the woke agenda instead of saying our job is different. Stop comparing us to civilians. We're asking our people to do hard yakka, in adverse conditions, and they need to be resilient and strong. When this is the ad you see, you're going to believe it and think this is what the army is about. The diversity, it's staggering.
This is the story of a soldier who operates your nation's Patriot missile defense systems.
Keep away from the cartoons, for starters.
It begins in California, with a little girl raised by 2 moms.
Why?
Although I had a fairly typical childhood, took ballet, played violin, I also marched for equality. I like to think I've been defending freedom from an early age.
Bullshit!
When I was 6 years old, one of my moms had an accident that left her paralyzed. Doctors said she might never walk again. But she tapped into my family's pride to get
She hurt herself opening a jar. Sorry.
back on her feet, eventually standing at the altar to marry my other mom. With such powerful role models, I finished high school at the top of my class, and then attended UC Davis, where I joined a sorority full of other strong women. But as graduation approached, I began feeling like I'd been handed so much in life, a sorority girl stereotype. Sure, I'd spent my life around inspiring women, but what had I really achieved on my own? One of my sorority sisters was studying abroad in Italy. Another was climbing Mount Everest. I needed my own adventure.
Look, I don't have a problem with that message. It's fantastic. It goes to show that joining the military is not only about self-achievement, but it's also about adventure. It's not about the pay. It's not about, I want to go to Ukraine. It's about the adventure. The byproduct of that, you become capable, you become dangerous, you become confident. You're a skill set based individual. Sexuality, how did that ever make it to the video? What capability does this offer in any way?
Adventures. My own challenge. And after meeting with an Army recruiter, I found it. A way to prove my inner strength and maybe shatter some stereotypes along the way. I'm U.S. Army Corporal Emma Malone Lord, and I answered my calling.
Yep, right. Okay, so let's go back to comments. But both, did they decide which one was weird, scary? Look, I don't care about sexual orientation or your family makeup, but it isn't. But it isn't a recruiting tool. No, it's not a recruiting tool. But what it is a metric of what people think, and they don't understand that the individual journey that people go on to join the military has got nothing to do with their sexuality. The whole point, our gender pronoun is recruit, is mate, is private, is sergeant, is corporal. You don't need one. No one cares. If you make it about sexuality, we've got laws for that. It's called fraternisation, and it's not included in the wall of honour when you actually fall and come back on your shield. They are lying to them, Lauren. This ad makes me want to join the Russian or Chinese army. Not the Russian, bro. Nuke. Pointless information used to elicit. But the thing is, who are you reaching this out to? Because the army would not be one speck, iota, sand grain better by anyone joining based on sexuality. It doesn't give anything to capability. Nothing. But it may prevent someone from joining, and that would be a travesty. G'day, Scotty. How you going, mate? Living each day as it comes to Lauren. Okay, put your hand up in the air. Put your hand down if you haven't shit your bed in the last 3 days. Ulcerative colitis, guys. For those that don't know, the lower bowel disease is hitting pretty hard. It's got nothing to do with Elton John or my choice of music. Harry 99. What's everyone's thought on Choco's joining full-time and getting the Skippy badge without going through singing out? No, they can't get the Oh, they can, actually. If you go through Army Reserve, you should never be given a Skippy badge ever in your life until you've done School of Infantry. That's my belief. Okay? Because the Skippy badge, what it is, it's not you're necessarily saying someone is better, but you're saying that the person that has the Skippy badge has gone through the fire, has gone through the ordeals. You know what the assumed knowledge is that they have, and that they had the pluck to make it through. Okay, the alternative is there might be a 1 month course instead of a 3 month course that they do, and then slide over into the regular army with rank. Okay, and then they don't know what they don't know. If you know what I'm saying there. Big Eye 6. The Marines and US Navy recently released new ads. They are better than that Army ad. Appeal more to warriors rather than the woke. Big Eye 6. Yep, I agree. And I believe the people that allowed that ad to come out should have been sacked on the spot. Because that is irreversible damage. That has gone past all the metrics of common sense and psychology on how to recruit people. And you've shown people how far we've slipped. They should be gone. I would say, as a mum of queer kids, it's actually patronising to them. I'd say that too. Let them go in and actually be, the best that they can be, and not have a mantle of give me special treatment or else. James, you should watch the US Army BMT series on YouTube. It shows a lot of the world we live in. Look, I see it everywhere, mate, to tell you the truth. Egregious bond you make, the path of Sino. Yeah, I agree, Harry. And it's not meant to be an insult. If people want to know, they need to know. If you short track something, fast track something, or come to the front of the line, there's repercussions for that. And we deal in reputation in the Australian Army, and we vouch for each other. I went to Jordan Peterson the other day, and there was someone there that I didn't know. Very bloody rude, let me tell you. And he was ex-Army, not infantry. Didn't look me in the eye when he shook my hand, and straight away I got a red flag, and I don't care if I don't meet that person again. I don't care. Anyone can join the army. Boys, I don't know what you mean by that, like anyone can join. Anyone should be allowed to join, yep, but if they can meet the standard. The army is harder to get into than almost any organisation, in civilian world. There is the fitness element. There is a psychological element. There is the weight. There is the academic. There is the volunteer status. Yep. David Nader, Choco's his Army Reserve, mate. Dave Penson from Vietnam, I'm coming over soon. The official video hasn't come yet about the tired girl. A few people know. We've got some things on our plate, and it's going to be exciting. Ryan, Saving Private Ryan. Hey, I am re-enlisting next year, February 21st. I miss Kapooka in general, straight to Singo for me. Make sure you're ready for that BFA there, Saving Private Ryan. And, mate, jump on Patreon. We just sent out all the latest fitness cards, except to one of our newest lads who only sent half his address. So I'll get in touch with him tomorrow. Hello, Dave. Hope little Anthony and the rest of your tribe are going well. Make that Kaz. Dave, I'm looking forward to talking to you, mate, and letting you know what our plan is, mate. So I too can say I've been to Nam. Pally. G'day, buddy. Charlene Tonifi. That sounds like a nice name. How you going, mate? To everyone that's a new subscriber today, great to have you here. Sorry about the sound. I don't know what is going on. I really don't. Jay, will they do something similar to Singo now? I don't know. I believe there's already been a slide in standards at School of Infantry based on gender. I don't know what's actually happening with the rest of it. Coca-Cola, the British toothpaste. I love it. I will do, Dave. I will do. Joshy Fawns, Dave Pence is a legend. He signed my mate's army flag, who was in the 2nd 14th Light Horse Regiment. Well done. Well done. Cabilo, or is it Cabijo? Corbijo 117. G'day, mate. I'm in the locker at the moment, but it's nothing that we can't laugh at. I've got to have, at the moment, an RV, a rendezvous point. Before I go to somewhere, I've got to go to the toilet. When I get there, I've got to go to the toilet. I can't really drive anywhere. I was on the train the other day and chucked a whitey, which means all of a sudden you've got audio shut out, sweat on the brow, and I've got to get to the toilet damn quick. Kez, hope that shit's feeling better, mate. They feel great. I'm getting through every game on the phone, but it sucks. Doesn't it disadvantage you to make Kapooka shorter? You'd imagine so, James, because the whole point about Kapooka is designed, okay, to allow you to ferment in the organisation and get that mateship, and let that embed itself. So you start to understand that you're about the team and one person individually doesn't matter. And that's the thing. If you were from the LGBT community, if you were a little bit different, what better way to feel like, hey, I'm the same, than to be where you add exactly the same capability as everyone else, and all of a sudden, all the titles, all the stereotypes fall away, and you just become another proud Australian. That's what it's about, team. Jensen, how's it going, mate? You only sent half your address, mate. I need you to send the rest of it, mate, and I'll send you your fitness card. Commie, different day. Foxy Fox, if the quality of soldier is already below par now, going to be interesting to see the quality after 63 days. How will IT and units deal with this? Hey, Kristen, how you going? Good way to lose weight, mate. It is a good way. The whole thing is, the reason why the standard is dropped at Kapooka is for several reasons. One, they got rid of the BFA, which you used to have to pass to get out of, Kapooka, which means they're passing their problems on. You also had to be able to pass the swimming test, which you don't any longer have to do, but your initial employment training can go that quick. You're going to go from not having to pass the swimming test, get to the School of Infantry if that's where you're going. Okay, and then from there, okay, go and swim 4 laps to warm up. But that's 4 times the Army swim test, and we weren't tested on that. Go and do it, son. And the more you struggle, the more you're going to see a cam pole standing over your face as your problem has now become my problem, which is worse for you. What happens when you get to the unit and you go to the 3rd Brigade and you didn't have to do a swim test, and then you went to signals, and then you weren't tested there for physicality, and then you ended up at the 3rd Brigade, okay, the Premier Brigade of the Australian Army, and then you go and do helicopter underwater escape training before going operations, and you're thinking, not only can't I swim 30 metres, not only can't I tread water for 2 minutes, but I'm shit scared of water, and now I'm going to be in a helicopter fuselage tipped upside down with 8 other members in it with equipment, and then when I panic and fail and they've all got to do it again and I've got no friends, they're going to claim that I might be British, hate bathing, and now I'm on a list of can't be sent overseas, can't be in helos over water or maritime operations. What you say to us, no matter how good you are on the radio. Yeah. Take his mobile phone off him. Rusty Gypsy, it's been a while, mate. Is the matrix of changing hand-to-hand combat might change. The only people that really learn unarmed combat in the Australian Army, okay, other than individuals on courses, is infantry. And we learn that at the School of Infantry, and it is under the combatives program. It's not what you expect. It doesn't hold on to a particular code. It's very ruthless and it's very effective. What do we got here? Jeno, thank you, mate. Thank you very much. And Jeno, we'll have a call tomorrow too, mate. Kristen, I was told to prepare for my BFA straight after Kapooka. It should have been before Kapooka. Only thing I'm worried about is some people say they lose fitness during basic. Yep. But if you turn up an athlete, good to go, expectation, can pass a BFA, you'll be fine. It's good to speak to you again, Lauren and Kaz. Been a while. Big Eyed Six, it's great to have you here too, mate. How's your life going, mate? Davey Penson, Vietnam. Why can't I see the chat? I don't know. Why can't you? So ain't. Hewitt was the worst thing I've ever done. Yep, it can be, mate. But let me give you a tip of the hat on that one, so ain't, for your honesty. I grew up surfing, diving, boogie boarding, swimming twice a day. Okay, at Stockton, down in Newcastle. And I tell you that even though I'm in love with the water, Hewitt sucks. To have no control and a nose this big, holy shit, it was bad. You lost the echo, Kaz. I haven't done anything to change it, but mate, I don't know what happens, team. I really don't. Nuke, less in the duration or intensity of training is really going in the wrong direction when talking about the bettering of our soldiers. Nuke, I agree, and we don't want to rip off our soldiers. They need to understand when they go from Kapooka that they are a fully qualified Australian soldier, no matter what their background. And then as a byproduct of that, then they go to their initial employment training schools. They should know they are qualified. Here's a question. Robbie, he's a smart man. Dave Webb, even a little bit smarter. How can I send your daughter or your son out in a field operation, okay, if they haven't passed a fitness test? They have not passed the physicality, the OH&S requirement to be able to know where these people are at physically, to see if they can tangibly carry a pack, adverse conditions in the winter, in the summer, combination of both, in the wet, for a prolonged period of time, limited amount of food, under arduous conditions, pushed to their limits. That shouldn't happen until you've passed a fitness test, not a PFA, a fitness test, like the BFA, the basic fitness assessment. I should know that every single person that comes out of Kapooka is the base level of Army fitness standards. Rural Hunter, he's from Townsville, and he's still unwashed. That's not just his title. Nutsu cow. Can we get some thumbs up for the Rural Hunter? James Kemple, might as well sign their death certificate. No, they're fine. They're good. I just believe that if I'm going to give you excellent training in firearms, if I'm going to give you excellent training in weapon systems, I've got to acknowledge that you are the most important thing. The applicant is the HR tool that our army has become the best small army in the world. It's not because of our weapons. It's not because of our equipment. Because the attitude inside our men and women that wear the uniform and serve. And if they don't know any better because it's not on the table, or we give them the option to not have to do it, of course you're going to go, yeah, I'll slide. I promise I'll eat less pizzas and I'll pass the test later. I don't blame the applicant. Remember, I did and still is. I do apprenticeship 4 years to hold a hammer, police person 3 months to hold a gun. That's pretty good. A school teacher takes 4 years to become a school teacher, but it's 3 years to become a paramedic. That doesn't make sense. And they've already qualified to come out of primary school. Daz, 5,000 people's viewing eyes worth of dineros there, mate. Thank you very much. Dave Penson, check you're on the live chat, not the highlighted chat. I'm not sure what that one's about. EV racing. Now, that is a problem solver. Isn't there an oath to serve His Majesty's interest? Yes, there is. But remember, this is not an Australian problem. This is a police problem, fire brigade problem, Army, Air Force, Navy problem, and it is a global problem. And it's all because of obesity, because of comfort, because of woke agenda, and because too many officers that we've got too many of are trying to line up their political aspirations when they get out of this institution. I reckon Ukraine is the best small army in the world. No. Well, they might be close to it. They might be close to it. They're all volunteers. They're very, very effective. But they're also not using the laws of armed conflict. If they were going up against a country that was, had a parity in the air, I don't know. They're going to be cutting edge, those guys. Tip of your hat. I'm really proud of anyone that defends their nation. And this is proof that Ukraine said, we are not going to be pushed around anymore. And we're seeing that. And the Russians don't know the off-ramp to get the hell out of there. Lawrence throwing kisses at Daz, maybe. Hey, Daz, I miss you too. Soul of the earth. Let's have another call in a couple of days. Robot 5, Ukraine isn't a small army. There are 198,000 personnel. I don't think anyone knows how big the Ukrainian army is anymore because they've taken massive, massive amounts of casualties. So, mate, if you swore an oath under the Queen, are you still required to fill that oath now that there's a king instead? Yes. The Queen and successors. Yep. Smoky B, I don't trust Ukraine one little bit. I don't trust them. They've got state media as well. Okay, but I am proud of the actual gunfighter on the ground who's putting his money and his blood, maybe not, no money. He's putting his life on the line to protect his nation. I don't like Zelensky. We're going to find more about that, lad. Squalite, it's the will of the people that count, hence Ukraine should be called the best army in the world. Well, you've got to be the best small army. Okay. All right. Big odd 6. Coach, do you think our generation defence force will see another and fight in another conflict? Yes, I do. I do. Do you think we may even return to the Middle East? I don't. I don't think we'll ever go back to the Middle East, mate. Even Saudi Arabia has realised that oil is now a dirty word, and they're trying to push on to the line, the mirror line. Have you seen that? Oh, okay, wait a sec. Our sick individual who's here tonight was the reason we're streaming tonight. Hi, mate. I'm trying the best to receive a Wi-Fi signal, but the nurse just told me that it's very hit and miss, even with mobile. So, to him out there, mate, if you can see this, awesome. We all wish you well. Can we get some thumbs up for sick ass boy? I won't tell you what his name is, but he's not a dentist either. Like we never went to Vietnam. People laughed at me second time. To say that there won't be another conflict, people could have said that maybe a year ago, but after seeing how the Ukraine and the Russia occurred, two conventional militaries running into each other, it's shown it is possible. It's also showing the importance of having strong coalition and allies. Naturally, it is impossible to bring Ukraine into NATO. One, because of how corrupt they are as a country, but two, you're not allowed to be taken into NATO if you're in direct conflict with another nation. Civil war under some pretenses, but NATO, no. That's one of the big rules. Crusher, good to have you here, mate. Bend over. I've met that guy. Okay, Shiloh. I'm currently in high school. Would you recommend finishing year 12 or going at 17 after year 11 to Kapooka? Finish year 12. Get that qualification. Unless you are failing and you have a pass in English and maths in year 10, I would say, no, we don't want you at 17, mate. We want you at 18, maybe 19, yes. There is no rush. Do it right. Do it right. Keep your team on side. That's your family. That's your friends. That's you. Don't cut off your future for a maybe. Cricket Toad. Probably the best name in chat. Hey, mate, in year 11 right now, thinking of joining the reserves during uni. Do you have any advice? I did Army Reserve during year 11 and 12, and no matter what anyone told me, I became transfixed on that, and it affected my schooling. Okay? So just be careful. Have your priorities, but just be careful. Hey, Bryce, g'day, team. Wi-Fi signal is very poor. You just gave yourself away, mate. Where I currently am. I hope everyone is doing well. Just going to sit back and enjoy the stream. Hey, Stevie, everything we do, we're doing tonight for you. This photo in the background's not too bad, eh? That is what Kapooka is about. Kapooka is about teaching you to be an Australian soldier. What they're doing at the moment is a run through when it comes to bayonet fighting. And the whole point of that is to be able to teach controlled aggression, balance, right, and be able to come back down from that heightened level of aggression, right? It's to be able to take the smallest people and the biggest people and make them aggressive, turn the tap on, turn the tap off. Capability, in, out, on guard. Anyway, okay, so what else did we have here, Kaz? So standards. Standards are dropping, and the fact that they're not telling us what standards are dropping shows that they don't want to, but they have to, and the battlefield and the threat will ask all the necessary questions of your training in the future that will determine whether you are undercooked, underdone, but also know we travel now at the speed of the slowest person. Okay. And if you travel at the speed of the slowest person, that is not good. If you drop the standards, the slowest person gets slower. Training shortfalls, okay, they can be covered. March out should be binned. Yep. Save money or expand army. Which is it? Are they trying to save money or are they trying to do it so they can expand the army fast? That's an important question that needs to be asked. Like, I just finished some work experience at Gallipoli Barracks. Looking at listing when I'm 18 for combat gap year. Okay? Hopefully you go for the gap year and then you stay on for the next 4 years, mate. I tell you now, team, there is some massive financial commitments and that are getting paid to soldiers to re-sign on. I'm going to give you a quick story about one of our subscribers, Mr. Bucko. I don't know if you remember this one. It is hard, Yakko Bucko, for everyone. Right. We had a soldier, tick the like if you can. We had a soldier that was 17 years old on this channel. We're going to call him, what are we going to call him, Brady? We'll call him Mitch for now. Okay, we'll call him Mitch. Good night, Jay Frey. Thank you very much for the letter that you gave to us today. It really helped, and it's good to be in touch. So this Mitch, hey, Pacadurries, bayonet needs to always be spotless clean and oiled for inspection. Yep. Mitch was 17. He scored really, really high. He had an interest in becoming a pilot in the Australian Army. Rotary wing. Okay, and what happened was, when he went in there and done his aptitude test and told them that he wanted to be a pilot, and he was 17 years old, they said to him, mate, we love the cut of your jib, we love your attitude, and we like what you want to do, and we're going to give you the chance to fly. And I don't mean have a Red Bull. They took him and his father to Townsville, so he had because you still class a minor at 17, and they took him to Townsville, took him to 5 Aviation Regiment, took him out to Garbett, took him up in helos, etc., and they showed him what his life could be in a place like 5 Aviation, etc. And then from there he came back and they handed him a contract for the next 10 years or something with change. And it's, would you sign your life away at 17 for the next 10 years knowing you'll be 27 years old before you can even exit unless you fail everything? Now, to have that opportunity at 17, when you were surrounded by people who don't know what they want to do, hopefully they'll get a job at Macca's or Starbucks, maybe an apprenticeship, get treated like shit potentially, go to university and hope there is an industry for that. This guy was nervous as hell because all of a sudden, all his dreams, everything he'd ever wanted was going to be paid for, paid a wage right now. Uniform, billeting, everything was going to be sorted out. And his father with his hand on his shoulder, like, what are you going to do, son? This has to be your choice. And he signed the papers, I believe. So I haven't heard from him since. So his life was set. At 17 years old, he dared to fly. And now, here he is, gone. JJ, now a submariner, getting massive amounts of money, in submarines because everyone else is scared shitless to do it. I see so many great people make decisions with their lives that come onto this channel that are on the bat phone trying to message me now. Okay, Carl just ran into Dave D. When a cav guy meets an officer with one leg, the pleasure is mine, is what I'm basically saying to you. I get to see you guys come in with dreams. I get to see you come in with questions. I get to see you come in with hurdles, and we sort it out on the bat phone. If you're not on it and you need that one-on-one conversation, come on over. We have that time together. We have a laugh. And then from there, you go on your way understanding there is only one place that you can come to outside a family member that we always take for granted to get that information that you need. That's right here. Ryan and Tech, also looking at joining reserves. Wouldn't mind full-time, but I can't sell my house, so stuck local at the moment. How old are you, Ryan? You seem to have life sorted out. Certified evil, it's getting shortened to 63 days as a trial at this stage. But we all know trials normally become permanent. He wants to be known as Loretta. Who's that? Cool story. Is going to be a 6-figure salary by 30. He's going to love his life. He's going to love his life. The one thing I would say is when you actually go for the Army, Air Force or Navy, just don't lie to yourself. If you go to infantry, that's the life of, it's a big boys club. It is, but there's also nowhere to hide. Once you get there, there's nowhere to hide. You've got to come up with the tests. You have to have, you're only as good as your last reputation guided field X, mill skills, operation, promotion course, your last night on the piss, okay, at the range, etc. You fill your credibility bucket with a spoon, but you empty it, okay, with a freaking boot. It's so easy to blow it all in one hit, isn't it, Nancy Pelosi? Is everyone getting excited for Christmas? I am. Christmas is a big time for giving. No, Lauren, I hate Christmas. Oh, Stevie, why? Don't you want Santa empty sack all over you? Okay, it does cost a lot. What is a level 4? So try in 2 years. What is a level 4? I'm not sure what that is. Xmas is going to be hectic here with floods. I hope you get the water, mate, for your animals. I really do. Guys and gals, we've got a whole bunch of other confusing things happening in life at the moment. We're seeing that technology is just busting out of its seams at the moment. We're seeing the left absolutely hates Elon Musk, despite the fact that he's delivering everything they want in accordance of their green initiatives, etc. We're seeing in the Ukraine is starting to hit their winter, which is going to be goddamn brutal. We're seeing Russia that's unable to pull back from their position, okay, in this fight and maintain their credibility. We're seeing people in the streets of the red corn chip saying down with the CCP. It's everything feels like there's no happy endings anywhere. So it all comes down to hug your dog, love your kids, eat some pizza, and hang on tight. Cabilo, my cousin is joining the Australian Navy after year 12. Okay. I don't know what he's going to do in it, though. All I would say is be part of a warship, not a support ship. Be part of a warship, cool, reputation. It's like being in A grade in the football, and you'll love it. It is just my experience, or all the enlistment coordinators next to useless. Well, normally, you've got to know, James, that normally when you go to recruiting, that's because you didn't want to be an instructor at Kapooka. because you didn't want to be an instructor at the School of Armour, because you didn't want to be an instructor at the School of Infantry. So the other two options are Army Reserve, Depot, and also that of recruiting, right? The mortgage increases have basically cancelled Christmas in my house this year, Lauren. Scotty, I hear you, mate. I really feel for anyone that's getting hit hard by this stuff out there. I really do. Mr. Buckaroony, where there are no happy endings, Kaz, you have to take matters into your own hands. Mate, I've lost nearly $100,000 on the stock market in the last 6 days. 6 days, but it ain't your fault. I've shit the bed once and me DAX a couple of times in the last week, but it's not your fault. These are the trophies of my career. And yeah, if I don't sell, I haven't lost anything, eh? Profit of war. Hey, Kaz and team, been watching for a while now, and the job of an infantryman seems to always come back. Is there an infantry reserves worth looking into to fill out, then decide for the 4 years? Wait. Hey, Kaz and team, been watching for a while now, and the job of infantryman seems to always come back. Okay. Is there an infantry reserves worth looking into to fill out, then decide for the 4 years? No, it won't give you a true indication of what it's like to be in the Australian Army, nor to be in an infantry battalion. You need to be in an infantry battalion. You need to rip that scab off. You need to run straight in. When in doubt, find me, Prophet of War, on the Patreon, and you and I will have a conversation for the price of a cup of coffee, and you'll either walk away invigorated, inspired, or frightened and thinking, maybe this is not for me. Okay, it's fitness every day, and a lot of things we do are not PT, it's actually just hard yakka, game day sort of shit. It's not class of PT session when we walk 40 kilometers with our packs on. When you walk for 16 hours a day, patrolling through the jungle, that's not classed as PT. It will find out all of the people that do not have the pluck to carry that pack, and they will fold. Some enlistment coordinators are civvies nowadays. Yep. And the problem is there, Skylight, is you might have someone from the Air Force or the Navy telling someone what their dreams are about that they want to join the Army, or you might have someone who's in the Army talking to someone who wants to go to the Navy and be in the submarines. It doesn't make sense. Peter Mayfield, I caught up with a recruiting officer who did my physical test for Army here in the desert, trying to improve recruit numbers from North Queensland. I don't know what they can do. I really have a hard time understanding what they could do. Have they let it fly too far? I don't know. What we need to have is soldiers wearing their uniforms in public and worn well. What we need is representations at schools, at sporting events, like they have at Townsville in the halftime and the before game anthem. Australian anthem, when the helicopters come out and the flags come out and people are proud. Inspire people, they will follow. Kaz, don't they offer CFTS to reserves in infantry? Okay, full-time service. Yeah, but if you're not doing it in a regular unit, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. Okay? Kaz, if the doctors are still doing the coffin squeeze, they only do that to the good-looking people, bucko. Ryan, money comes, money goes in life. Yeah, it is true, but I like good food too. And the sushi train's getting expensive. Jesus wept. I never thought I'd miss a rat pack until I just saw the hospital meal they just delivered. Could be ordering delivery McDonald's. There you go. That's another reason why we need family. Look after us when we're down. I've been investing in beef crops and opals, Nicole. There you go. Matty Waters. Hey, mate, new to the channel. What was your past experience in the ADF? Matty Waters, you sound like a boxer, mate. One of the Waters brothers. My background team, okay, I joined the Army at 58 kilos. I was meant to go to Signals Corps. Halfway through Kapooka, Corporal Doman said to me, mate, do you really want to go to Signals? I said, not really, I want to go to infantry. He goes, you're a little bit light on, son, and you've got a pretty big mouth as well. And my dad had said that. And I went, you know what? Give me the papers. Signed the papers, went to the School of Infantry. I got punched once in Kapooka and I got punched once in Singo, so maybe my mouth was big. And that was really, really hard work. And I was ultra fit. I was running 5 kilometres under 19 minutes. When I was at the actual School of Infantry, yet I was still vomiting during runs. It was extremely hard. Got through School of Infantry and went to the 2nd 4th Battalion in Townsville, okay, where I hit the ground running literally. We went outfield straight away, okay, and I had to earn my stripes, so to speak. So I was there straight away, went on leave, bought a car for $16,000 in 1991, which was a lot of money back then, and went back on leave. We got told that Somalia was happening. Thought, excellent. Got told to come back, went back home, and then got told, no, we've got too many from Bravo Company 2-4 going to one area. So now you're staying here to do rear details. Shit. Stayed on there. We're never going to go overseas again. I cried. Then we found out that Rwanda was happening. Rwanda, who's going to go? Alpha Company, the team that just came last in Mill Skills. Shit. I started to cry again. We're never going to go overseas. I started up a spy network that set out propaganda and said there's going to be a second tour in Bravo Company, 2nd 4th Battalion's going to Rwanda, Unamir too. And guess what happened? We went. And I believe that was because in some way that I set up the bullshit trail. Then went for Special Forces in 1999. But while we were on that, we got told East Timor was about to happen. Johnny Howard came and confirmed it. Kim Beasley just wanted the canteen food. I was on the very first platoon, the very first section, to hit the ground in effect in 99. Okay, we came back from that, right, and then we went over to East Timor again a couple of years later where I got a lower bowel disease. Told everyone I was A-OK, never used it to get out of anything, and then ended up in the Middle East in 2008 on the Sinai Peninsula. Fantastic, one of the best things I've ever done in my life. Okay, and after that I was told, your ass is broken, son. You can go out bush full time, but what you can't do is go on operations. I know, it doesn't make sense. So my operational tours were over, but then I started to re-engage then as an infantry leadership and tactics instructor at the School of Infantry and did multiple tours there as an instructor. Then they told me one day, your butt is caught up to you, and so is the PTSD from the trauma from Rwanda. It was coming out of me. I didn't really recognize it was occurring. Okay, and then from there, I was handed the yellow paper to say, after 24 years, your time is done, son. What are you going to do after this? I said, I'd like to get into something that gives me a chance to meet Joe Rogan sometime. That hasn't happened yet. Okay, but I've created a YouTube channel to assist those who are going to follow the footsteps that I'd created while following my father's footsteps, who had followed that of those before him, like Douglas Caswell, who got killed at Fromelles. So that's my story, and that's why I serve you now. Thank you for your tax dollar. You got 6. I didn't know you were 2RR, Cass. Yeah, yep. I served with Amphib on the LHD for a bit. All good people. I'm looking at switching over to infantry and hoping for either 2 or 8-9. Any advice? Go for 2RR, mate. And if that doesn't happen, then go for 8-9. Reason being, if you go to the unique unit, more money is spent there, and they need to make it work. And I love the ocean. Peter Mayfield, the physical test had no one else from my region at the time. Had no one else? The physical test. Okay. I've got so many right now, amazing onions this season. There we go. Do you still struggle with the PTSD? Matty, I do. But because I'm in my isolated situation, I've got a really good video on it, mate. My PTSD is not anything I saw; it's the things I did. Now, I've spoken about this before, and it's similar stories to the police and the firemen, etc., and other military members. There's 4 little kids from Rwanda, and what I do is when I talk about it in the third tense, like Mike Tyson talks about his dead child, because then it doesn't actually break through what you have. You don't get the smells, the sights, the sounds, etc. But when I think of Amalia, when I think of Grace, when I think of Bernadette, and when I think of Julius, the 4 kids who I'd adopt right now, but 50% of them I know are dead. The other 2 I'm not sure about. When I think about them, I love them almost as much as I love my daughter, or sometimes as much, I believe. And we look at the way and things that we've contributed in our lifetime and you can't take it back. Which is why I explain to people, don't make your job about money, make it about following your dream. Because if you follow your dream, you don't feel like you're working. And after 24 years, I miss it every single day. Yep. G'day, Andrew. How you going, mate? Navy veteran. Honestly, it sucks working on LHD. It's like a floating hotel. There we go. I've been on a lot of Navy votes. Never spewed on one. I have inside the American Amtrak. They were a mess. Guys, everyone deserves to be humbled by being inside an Amtrak. It's like an overweight pregnant APC that is fully swim capable, closed down with as much diesel fumes in the back as what there is cigarette smoke in a coal miner's lung. And it's just like that on the waves, team. And once that helmet comes off someone's head, the whole place is about to smell M&M's, mum and dad spaghetti on your shirt already. Ricey, thanks, Nick. Unfortunately, Gallipoli Lions are now in my past, back in WA, but you're a gem for the offer, Nick. I'll get rid of the previous videos before this, team, where the sound was all skew-if as well, to make sure that I'm not wasting anyone's time. So appreciate you guys hanging in there for me. You're going to get out in that camper and show Buck a cook-up. I've actually just bought myself, it's downstairs, and by no means is it LGBT thing, but it's called Trans Cool. I was going to show it to you tonight. It's a box evaporative cooler. I believe that Buck has already got one sold to me by the inventor of it named Peter. And I need to talk to Bucko about that. Hey, Samuel Mason, you've just been promoted. Welcome to the Great Unwashed. Thanks, mate. Hey, Sam, when are we going to have a conversation, mate? Let us know where you are in life. Celsius, evening, Cass. Hope you're feeling better than yesterday, mate. I feel okay, man, but every day. Crack it in. That was for you, Sammy. The every day is a new test, mate, and you can't let it get you down. It's good to have you, Sammy. Davis Jr., Aussie made too, mate. It is Aussie made. $300. I thought it was a bargain. Skylight. What does Australia need amphibious infantry capabilities when it's a defence force? All the respect to our second to none. Boys, just curious, mate, because we are also a coalition partner of the US, so we can work over there straight up with them like we have forever. Australia's always been an amphibious army, mate. From the shores of Gallipoli, where we actually got our baptism by fire. It started in boats, ships, okay, landing at Gallipoli. We've done it ever since, but now they've just got these titles they add to things, amphibious, which means it is actually specialist training for amphibious lodgement and reconnaissance. Tom, does that make you a drum? Hello, Kaz. I'm new here, but I've been watching your videos on Kapooka and the PFA to help me prepare for the ADF for a while. But what are your thoughts on doing a degree of a uni before enlisting? I would say don't do it, Tom. I would say, how old are you, mate? When you were young, to go from school to go to uni, you deserve a little bit of maturity. You deserve a little bit of adventure before you say to yourself, I want to look back at what this qualification I've got passion for, and I want to be able to look through the eyes of an adult, okay, through a man who now understands where that's going to take me in the future. If you do the university before it, you're never going to join the army, and you might get lost in the hex bills, etc., and you may never chase your dream. Which is the bigger dream to you? What you're going to study in university or the army? If the army is a greater dream, you just answered your question, to tell you the truth. And by going at the uni after you've done your army time, I bet you're able to sit still longer and be able to apply yourself better, with a mature outlook to the education and what the university degree is going to give you. Walker Palin? Tom 15, mate. Go to military when you're 18, bro. Crusher, I understand the delayed onset PTSD was in Somalia for 9 months in 1993. It caught up with me in 99. Crush, I've got a lot of people that were in Somalia, and again, they're having hard times. When you're around abject chaos, etc., with people with no hope of a good life. We have won the lottery by being in Australia for starters. Even if you're in the western suburbs, Adelaide, you have won the lottery. To know that all you need to do is go overseas and see that these people might have been the best in their field, of any field, but when you're born in a certain postcode, all you can do is act within the code of conduct and those around you, not stand out, stay grey, or be the worst, the toughest in the block, and have a short life. It's heartbreaking. Nicole, that's ridiculous. Nicole, what are you doing? I don't know what to do to that. No one ever needs to give a donation like that, mate. Nicole, you're not on the rums, are you? I've got no problem giving that to someone for Christmas. I've got no problem with that. But these are hard times at the moment, mate. You shouldn't be doing that. What do we say? What can we do? Nicole, let us know if it was a mistake. And if it was meant to be $3.99, it's all good. Either way, can we get support for an over generous, what would we say, pledge from Nicole? Okay, military serving member. Bless you, Nick. You're a legend. Hey, Kaz, love your channel. Quick question. Is 37 too old to go for special forces? I would say yes. The medical department suspended my PFA for years. I would say yes, mate. I'd say get in the army and then see how that unfolds from there. Nicole, I feel like I need to talk to you later. Russia, do you know Sean? Can we get some thumbs up there for Nicole? I know what I can do for people with that, and very much appreciated, mate. I just don't know what to say. I'm a giver. When you receive, it's a hard thing. So what I'll do is I'll receive that, and I'll give that to someone, put a smile on their face to make them think, why me as well? What's your cow? I don't know what to say. Don't know what to say. Good on you, Colt. Yep, good on you, mate. Lauren is right. Indeed, I've sat and listened to some accounts that have changed me forever from Somalia. Somalia is just one of those God-forsaken places. When you go to some places, you see there is nothing behind their eyes. They've been let down so much from birth that you can't hold them almost accountable for anything that happens because it's like their soul was taken from them when they were young. It's heartbreaking. Really is. Crusher, do you know Sean Norman? Is he related to Harvey Norman? Samuel Mason, just got my medical appeal approved after getting class 4 for back injury. A specialist gave me the green light. Can we get some thumbs up there for Samuel? Because I tell you now, to beat the appeal system and to not give up and to pledge and give money and belief in yourself and come up with the new information to get yourself cleared to achieve your dreams, this guy is worth his salt, and I'd give him a go in my platoon just because I know he's not a quitter. KYI, Green, can I join the army with ADHD? Unless it comes up KYI, I'd say you can because I believe I've got it, mate. I think I've got ADHD. Yeah, I don't fit in with many others, mate. I think of things in a completely different way, which gets people going, what? What are you talking about? I thought my name was shut the fuck up for years. KYI, if you need to, jump on Patreon. You and I can ADHD each other through conversation, and we'll see what happens. Goldie, I want someone to have a great Christmas. Nicole, I know exactly where this is going to go. I can tell you where it's going to go. We're going to either we're going to spend this on one person's full week shopping, or what we're going to do is going to buy some of the ornaments that the globes that I buy every single year for families in the local area, while I see them looking at them thinking they're too expensive. Every year we do it. It's a beautiful gesture. I love it. puts tears in my eyes and gets me a couple of offers by some big girls to go to their place for Christmas too. Of course, I swipe left. Shalim, sorry if I butchered that. Hey, Kaz, go to Kapooka in March as Armoured Cav. Good on you, mate. Second best corps. I know you're an infantryman, but anything you can tell me about IETs, any similarities to infantry I can expect, fitness expectations or comparison? It's very physical, mate. It is very physical being Cav. But when you go down and you're going to do your IET training at Puckapunyal, right, it is also a very mature meets immature / grow up fast corps, because you're normally going to have a crew commander and a driver, of the vehicle, right? And then what happens is you don't get much room to stuff up, but you're going to love it, and I look forward to seeing how you go. Hey, Lockie O'Brien, 18 months, great unwashed. Have you had a shower since? Not too cow. Thank you very much, mate. Sending a heart. Windscreens, O'Brien. Always fish about. Sammy was saying. Remember, when you do an appeal, it has to be new information. That has to come from doctors. It doesn't come from vouching from people or people writing nice things about you. And that's the tough thing. James Morris, sounds like the musician. Are you going to train ARA recruits to reserve? Are they going to train ARA recruits to Army Reserve 6 weeks? I don't know what's going to happen there, but I do know that the regular Army is going to 63 days, and that includes the whole week that they spend getting ready for March out. So I don't know what they're getting rid of. I don't. They made a big mistake by getting R.M. Williams as the uniform boots. That was a mistake. Someone made some money out of that one. Maybe it was, what's that gentleman's name? Not Hugh Grant. Help me out. Great Australian actor. Wolverine. Paddy Waters, thank you very much, mate. With the green heart there. Nutsu Cow, thank you very much for the Asian cow. Do you mind if I get a 3 coffees with that so I can torture myself with that milk-based diarrhea that I get? This is ridiculous, team. Kaz, what I was planning on going to... Because I was planning on going to the Army, but I'm not sure what I want to do yet. When in doubt, go to the military, is what I'm saying to you. When in doubt, Robo, meet me here. We talk about your dreams, and I'll tell you if, hey, mate, you're a little bit underdone yet, or whether that'd be a great thing. Mr. Buckering, hey, Kaz, Mr. Buckering channel is giving away $2,500 for animal shelters for Christmas. The shelters do it tough over Christmas. Absolutely. And I love animals. And today, Daz, mate, thank presents or peasants. I thought you wrote for Christmas peasants. Daz, thank you very much. Not to get, please, team, don't do that. Okay, you never know. You're opening up a farm. Okay, Nicole, you've got kids as well. Guys, slow it down. We don't need that, please. Daz, you could have bought half a cow with that. Can we get some thumbs up for the good Aussie Daz there? He's excited. He's clearly had a 6-pack of bloody mid-strength beers, and the smell of the rain has got him excited. Thank you very much, Daz. Again, from a giver, it's always hard to receive. But we'll look for a project to sort that out. Action Jack, has anyone been able to put a fart back in the bum yet? I definitely haven't. And Action Jack, that is how I made a mess of my doona. It was like a tiger spraying its scent, but let's just say it was red. Terrible. And I'd just done the washing too. Okay, Buck, tell me what shelter, and Dion and I will chip in. We do love the animals. We do. As a matter of fact, I'm becoming one of those people that looks at me dog almost unholy. Like people like, it's just a dog, Kaz. You go, no, it's not. You don't need a label on your dog for it to be a, what do we say? An assistance dog. You just need a dog. Team. Hey, KOI, you can join with ADHD, but you need to be assessed by a doctor. Okay. It comes down to, are you on medication or not? You have to be off any medication for at least a year before they can touch you. Lauren, no Christmas ghosts haunting anyone here this year. Let's help some folks. Don't forget the Patreon if you want to give. The Patreon is getting very exciting, team, because we have something at the moment that is so exciting. And let me just tell you, hey, Timmy, he's on our Patreon as well. Hey, Kaz Recruiting, just let me know. The next available enlistment date is in March, so I'm going to sing it over winter. Any tips? Yes. When a man hugs a man, you're going to be fine. Mate, Timmy, when are we going to have our phone call? I sent your card away yesterday, bro. They'll be on the way. Lockie O'Brien windscreens. 5 thumbs there. That's 2.5 gay men in one sleeping bag. Lauren, never been done. Just enjoy it, mate. Scotty, no such thing as just a dog. They are family. Yes, they are, unless you're in East Timor, and then they become an entree. Nicole K. Kaz, I have one at home, so all good. She doesn't miss out, mate. I can't even get mine to hug me. It looks the look in my eye. How you going there, Stevie Pygram? I've done 4 deployments, left a little bit behind, but brought back a lot. Yep, we do bring back a lot, and what we can't do is take things back or get rid of the pain that happens with being that serviceman. It just happens. It's part of it. It's part of it, isn't it? Kaz got a companion dog for a hubby months ago, and it has helped him so much. It saves lives. It really does, because sometimes people look at it and go, I don't want to leave this world and leave him alone either. So it's a fantastic thing. Lauren is saying, I had to change my room today on the phone to Kaz. Apache gets jealous. Yes, he does. I could hear it in the background. Broke back Singo, says Leo. I was going to say, my little girl gets back from a school camp tomorrow. It's been the hardest thing for me ever. I'm such a helicopter parent. But I digress, pardon me. What do you think about this? Who are we going to direct this one at? Okay, I've got one. Daz. Because Daz is, you may not realize this, but Daz is he's a really deep thinker. He's really connected with his views, and I would say he's a guy you can't buy. I would say that Daz is the kind of guy that if you did something to him, he would never forgive. But until you've done something to him, he would help you 1,000 times without expectation of reinvestment from yourself. So Daz, is he still there? I'm asking, at the moment we're doing the stream tonight for Steve. Steve's having a real hard time at the moment. It seems like he's in his hospital bed at the moment, to tell you the truth. Yeah. So that's why we're on here tonight as a Tuesday night, which is not a normal thing. But okay, we'll direct it to Buckaroony instead, because Buck was a soldier for 20 years, cop for 10 years, prison guard for over 10 years, servant of the nation. This one's aimed at you. Okay, Daz is here. I picked him right. Mr. Buckaroony. I gave someone some advice the other day, and that advice was, the soldier has to be very careful that they never actually hate the person they're fighting, the army they're fighting, the people they're fighting. Because once hatred is in the heart, then you will never be within the guidelines of the rules of armed conflict. It's impossible, because then you want the total annihilation of them. You hate them. And how this plays out, we'll say for people that make 5 or 6 tours of a place, is when you do the first tour, you go over there, your mind is completely open to whatever's going to come next. Okay? But by the end of the tour, there's always contempt, as well as normally love for the children and a cultural knowledge that you have for that society. But the second time you go there, now the contempt comes in after a very short period of time, as you know, the deficiencies they have in their culture. You know, And then if you do a third, you might already despise them before you get there. So then the danger of repeated assessments into a location or deployments, that's where you start to water down the compassion and you start to create the perfect beast of war. But when it isn't actually a conventional fight, then there's a chance of someone slipping. And there's a bell curve to conduct where some might still be professional the whole way, some may not, especially when you know the secrets of that culture and how to defeat them. When you get sent to come back and survive, sometimes you know exactly how to skin the wolf. Has a C. Wondering what your thoughts on the infantry conversion training after Duntroon for officers. Okay. The thoughts on the infantry conversion training. Are you talking about their RBC Regimental Officer Basic course? The officer should not get a skippy badge until they've actually passed their RBC course, just like a soldier doesn't until they've passed their initial employment training course. But quite often officers will come out of RMC, get sent to the battalion until it's time to go down for their range OIC course, officer in charge course, which what they will do, and the sergeants that are on the same course as them will do their corporals that are going to be sergeants will do senior range instructors course, getting that mixed up. Basically what I'm saying is when you do your RBC course, you shouldn't have your skippy badge until you've actually passed that training. And there should always be at least one person that is failed on the RBC so that people always understand the peer judgment of peers is enough that one person should always be re-rolled over into another corps to keep it a self-policing system. Rangers do that. We saw that with the Special Force, Kaz. They did too many deployments, and look what happened. Exactly what I meant to, Mr. Buckaroony. And you know what? I felt it in my own heart. I felt it in my own heart before, and it's not a good feeling. Guys, if I rattled on too long, is Steve out of here? We were doing this tonight for Steve. The topic of tonight is that Kapooka is being brought short. My question is, what is being dropped? Is it for rapid army expansion or is it to save money? The standards have to be enforced, reinforced even more now as the length of time we're spending at the home of the Australian soldier that amalgamates everyone under one badge of the rising sun. It needs to be something that you're proud of, not something that has just been handed to you. And I will tell you, it doesn't matter how long it goes for. Okay, Kapooka is not easy. It's not. Timothy or Timo, keen on another call whenever you are, mate. My assessment day is not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, December the 10th. Also need some help with my resume for Candidate Hub. I'll send it to you. No dramas, mate. No dramas, Tim. And Steve, I'm with you, Buck. The fourth here, 5 years. Fourth here, 5th year, 5 years. Okay. Mr. Buckaroony, can you find out what's going on, Kaz? Hopefully, duty and drill week. Yet, the drill I still see is important because the last thing you want to do is have people that can't do drill when one of their mates comes back on his shield or you're doing a ramp ceremony, etc. We need to be careful what we get rid of or get rid of nothing. It'd be very interesting, mate. We'll keep you up to date. Kapooka being shortened is unlucky, Saxu as it is. Yeah, I think that we've got like a 20% quit rate at the moment. So there's something wrong with the HR department who's already attracting the wrong people, potentially lying to them. And then when they get to Kapooka, finding out that they can't put their heels together and go back to Kansas, or they get back without having the chance to realise that they would have loved it. They just needed to get through there. You know, maybe they need some guest speakers that come there that are people from the army that come in and go, you haven't seen me yet. I'm just here to tell you what's waiting for you on the other side without bullshitting you. Fly next year, hopefully in infantry. Any tips? Peachy D, get on the bat phone. Everything you need to know will be a one-on-one conversation. I can't do it through text. I can't do it through email. I don't have that one-on-one conversation and let's get you ready. Can you also send me the link? I was there for quite a while in 93 for Somalia, yeah? Yes, we do, mate, for certain people. Some and all. Timmy Douse, the joust. Okay, guys, let's get out of here. Thank you very much to all of those that have come tonight. Thank you very much for your questions. Let's hope the stock market recovers in the next few days. And what can I say to those that have really gone deep in their pocket to assist those over the Christmas break, other than we'll find recipients. And you know what? Nicole, Daz, you know, Lauren, Mr. Buckaroony, all of those in green, all of those in the Patreon. We've got some really exciting news that are coming to you soon, and you are part of that without even realizing it. And I can't wait to break that news to you. Let's just hope that I get back to me family as well, because me dad went to Nam. Let's just say it's on the cards real soon. Let's get out of here. Wait 2 seconds. Nefarious. Thanks for your service, Kaz. I didn't even realise I was in. James Morris. He's just joined us too in Patreon. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. James, I'll be sending you in a minute. I'll be sending you a welcome to Patreon. And then the next day or so, you and I can have a conversation and we'll get going. And Jeno, you and I too. Dave Penson in Vietnam right now deploys the government on the day they see fit. I'm not saying it is right. You just get on with the task that you have been given mission and look after your mates whilst doing it. Look at it as the adventure. Look at it as the brotherhood. Look through the eyes of compassion. And one of the hardest things about the Vietnam trip coming up, sorry, gave it away a little bit, is the fact that they don't seem to have any hard feelings towards us. Nor do they in Germany. Nor do they in Russia. Nor do they in China. Yet in Australia, we walk around bombastically complaining that the language of other countries is on some of our billboards. We shouldn't be so arrogant. Hey, Rumley, welcome to the Great Unwashed. You're not allowed to actually have a shower now that you're part of the Great Unwashed, Rumley. Not too count. Great to have you here. Can we get some thumbs up there for Rumley? Celestia, g'day, mate. What's up, Kaz? Wishing you all the best. Thank you always for everything you do, mate. There'd be nothing if it wasn't for the people that actually come on here as well, is it? Thank you very much, team. Thank you very much. Thumbs up for Rumley. Lauren, Kaz, you are a star, shooting star. That's a cracking. That's coming to you, Mr. Rumley. I can help. James Morris, I can help you with your IT. I'm sure you can, mate, because I'm one of the worst at it. All right, team. See you later. Okay, and remember that we are lotto winners by simply living in Australia, the best small country in the world. Not small, but, bloody oath, mate. Cheers for the all the help pride of Kapooka. Now enjoy my IETs. Good on you, mate. The IETs, take it 1 week at a time. And remember, when you get a chance to go to Newcastle, if you get a chance to go to Melbourne, then do it. Because that time resting will make you feel better as you deprogram for the weekend. Okay, guys. See you later. Merry Christmas, the month of, the stock market. Do your job. See you later. Bye.